must succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am calling battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Turn me there.
Cross the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got to lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. That's a quick look at when Doctor Who was good. When Doctor Who was good 10 years ago. Not that long ago, right? For an old fogey like me, 10 years is like, you know, a handful of heartbeats, if I may. Which Doctor was that? That was Colin Baker's Doctor when he was threatening to kill those policemen in Attack of the Cybermen. He said, "Come, Barry, just shoot them." He said, "Well, you get 20 years, a handful of heartbeats for a Time Lord." That was, again, there's a lot in that season that was very badly judged, right? That was very, very badly judged. I remember, again, I've spoken about this before. I remember really clearly on a Saturday for some reason. But they said, but then I saw people saying no, it's Thursday or something. Let's look it up 1 second. Look, I remember being like excited all day, and I've had this feeling today, not excitement, right? Anticipation, right? Because I think things are gonna go in a very strange way, right? I think things are going to go in a way where, look, this might be. When was it that Game of Thrones really fell apart? Was that last episode? I mean, for me, it was. I was still holding out hope right up until the end. I mean, even like most of the last season was. A lot of people lost hope at the Winterfell thing, right? Which was okay, but I think I still had hope. Here, I'm just looking up the day that what's the name? Remembrance of the Daleks head. What day was that? Hang on. We should have. I'm on the Wikipedia right now. October the 5th, 1988. So let's see what October the 5th was. October 5th, 1988. What day of the week was October the 5th, 1988? Let's have a look. Okay, tell me. I got a day of the week. Just tell me the day of the week it was. No, it's telling me stuff about Japanese, like what, Zodiac. No, historical. No, I want to know the day. Right? Get the day. Okay, the website here. I'll share it with you. This is crazy. They should be sued for the trade description order. What the hell? 1 second. Doink. Share screen, right? Now I've lost my mouse. There you go. Get the day of the week for October 5th, 1980. Wednesday! Bloody, right under my bloody nose. All day, right? I just saw some of my chains have fallen down over the TARDIS. I'll fix that at some point. But it was a Wednesday. But today I just feel like I think we're coming to a major reinvention of Doctor Who. Now, will this reinvention of Doctor Who allow one to write off any Doctor Who you don't like? I think maybe. I don't know. It seems a bit considerate. And like one thing I would say Rusty Davies has not been as yet is a bit considerate, right? I think Rusty Davies has been writing very much for Rusty Davies, which I think is probably normally a good thing. if you're not completely barking mad. And obviously, he's part of the group of people that are completely barking mad. Man, I tell you, really, I think how the world breaks down right now, one of the ways the world breaks down is, do you like to think for yourself, or do you like other people to think for you? I think if you like to think for yourself, I've got my super Republican neighbor, right? He's never really liked Trump, and he's like saying, "Oh no, Nikki Haley, she's the one to go with." Or I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" Like, there's no chance Nikki Haley has against anyone, right? I mean, like, literally, it doesn't have a chance against Trump unless he gets screwed over, right? And he hates Vivek Ramaswamy, right? Talking about this last stream, I was saying, well, can you tell me what it says he doesn't like? And he just couldn't hear it, right? Specifically, what he says doesn't like. And so I'm at the point where people say, well, people say this, people say that. No, I don't care what anybody says, right? I've heard people say, I've heard the BBC tell me for years and years that Jodie Whittaker was incredibly successful, and I saw it completely fail. I heard people tell me for years and years that they genuinely believed it's all January 6th was undoubtedly an insurrection, and we know it was probably an inside job now, right? It's if you like to think for yourself or not. So, look, I just think Russell T. Davis's mind has been consumed by the woke mind virus, and he can't tell the difference between a kink and a sexual identity, right? And this push to bring kink into normalcy. It's like, I'm just not behind, right? I think it's bad, right? He thinks it's evil not to allow kink. Calling it kink, right? Or transgender, calling it kink. And I just think, why is this battleground in the middle of Dr. Bloody Who, right? So you got that going on. But honestly, the episodes on top of, below them, above them, haven't been that stellar, quite frankly. It's been, I would say, what was the worst anniversary? The 60th anniversary or the 30th anniversary? Because right now I'm holding the 60th anniversary. It has had, look, they've done their darndest. I mean, in all fair, they have done their darndest, but it just hasn't worked in any way, shape, or form. I mean, like, there's been very little connection to the past. Now, here's the thing. I think connection to the past works when you're moving the story forward, right? When you're moving into, because Doctor Who say, and for want of a better word, is by definition a very progressive show, right? It's always lived on the cutting edges of the social zeitgeist, right? And I don't think that's where Rusty Davies is right now. I think he's way. He's trapped in 2017, along with Disney, and Disney are going down in flames. Oh my God, going down in flames. Honestly, I don't know by 2025 what was going to be with Disney. I can't imagine it's going to be in the same state as it is now, or in the same form it is now. But so I've had a growing anxiety. No, that's the wrong word either. Because, like, in my mind, this is not Doctor Who, right? The new era of Doctor Who is not Doctor Who. It for me, Doctor Who has to fit together into one continuity. Even if I don't mind having to squint a bit, right? It's okay. But once you have continuity destroying narratives, there's no squinting around that. It's like Yasmin Finney in the Star Beast, right? Star Beast, it's kind of like fun, somewhat dumb episode, but yes, there's no way of getting around like the awful wokeness that went all the way through it, that being trans is the way to save reality. It's beyond me. But on top of that, there's been like very little connection to the history of Doctor Who. Really sadly. So I was reading this over Sabbath, right? Because for me, Sabbath just ended. Share screen. I was reading this over Sabbath. But it's the third night of Hanukkah, right? You might see I have 4 flames here. 1 second. I have 4 flames down here. There you go. So you have 1 bigger flame you put separately, and then 3. You light an extra candle every night. I'll talk about this more. Probably Sunday. right? But it's the third night of Hanukkah tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, well, that's the decorations up. They're staying up till 12th night. I like a bit of Christmas, right? I like a bit of Hanukkah, little Christmas. So I was reading this over Sabbath. This was the 50th anniversary comic book, Doctor Who magazine comic book story, which was really quite good. There's actually two books. It's was it Chains of Olympus, and that went into Hunters of the Burning Stone. And it really fit into the Doctor Who chronology that they built up for the comic strip, which again, I find this as authentic. The current Doctor Who on TV, I find as authentic as this over here, the comic strips. I find as authentic, actually less so than the comic strip, because the comic strip tries to work in concert with the rest of Doctor Who. I know all kinds of different things. Like I mean, look, it was that show Community. They had the thing called Professor Spacetime. That's as much Doctor Who as the Doctor Who we're seeing right now, and that's why I think they lavish it with lots of like Doctor Who-y iconography. But anyway, this story, it's quite a good little story. And you have like these weird space hunter people, and in the middle of it, the Doctor goes through like this weird boundary thing, and he meets Ian and Barbara, and Barbara's looking pretty hot here, must I say. Well done. Who did the artwork on this? Is it David Roach, Martin Geraghty, Mike Collins, right? But then there's another bit where you find out the bad guys are really the Tribe of Gum. So that's really bizarre, right? And again, it's silly you bringing back the Tribe of Gum as bad guys. It is silly. I agree with you. It is genuinely very silly to do that. But it kind of worked, right? There was these super special space aliens that augmented them. And then you have this little sequence like in the middle. And it doesn't have to be big, right? It doesn't be where you got, well, sorry, I'm having a bit of camera take. We get like a nice bit of history of Doctor Who, right? You see Hartnell, you see bits from the Daleks. I mean, look again, and also the artwork is really quite nice. Like this is a great little First Doctor piece of comic book artwork. I really like that, right? And then here you get like lots of other touchstones of the past. So Sarah Jane, Ian and Bartlett's Ian. I think that's Rory and Amy, Jamie, Tegan. And again, it's just nice, right? It's a nice touchstone to like connect it to the past. Bit of Colin Baker there, Ice Warriors, 10th Doctor fighting the Sycorax, and yeah, like all these great moments in Doctor Who, right? I do like this Sylvester McCoy piece as well, right? It's and it worked, and it worked in terms of a story, right? It wasn't like member berries for a story. It actually worked for the story, and that's been so lacking, right? Any celebration Doctor has been so incredibly lacking, right? Whereas I think Dare the Doctor was an incredible celebration of Doctor Who, right? It's really sad. So we've had that. They tried their darndest, right? That Daleks colorization just wasn't very good, right? And Celestial Toymaker, oh god. No, that animation is some of the worst. Let's look at it again, because I haven't seen. Look, again, I've been offline for 25 hours. Just look at this animation again. It's so unbelievably bad, as I recall. Let's see if it got any better. Right?
Remember the past, your little adventures. Remember my power.
What's this extraordinary place? Looks crazy to me.
Like, okay, in long shot, I can kind of go for it.
Now in the world, Celestial Toymaker. He's a power for evil.
Yeah, this is insane. I just don't understand what I'm looking at. Right? I just like who looks at this and goes, me, yes. We got, and again, who looks at this and looks at the Callum Weston one, which is beautiful. Literally beautiful. I far superior to this, and goes, oh, fuck that. Fuck the Callum one. This is the one. Are you out your fucking mind? This is garbage.
I've been waiting for you a long time.
What game is it you want me to play?
This, a game for the mind, Doctor, the developed mind.
I offer you power. Power to corrupt, to destroy. Think of the exhilaration of that power.
I mean, honestly, can I get in contact with Ian Levine and say how much would it cost to crowdfund Canon to do the extra couple of episodes? Right, this is garbage. Like I would so put money into a crowdfunding campaign to do an extra couple of episodes here. But I'll show you a clip because we keep having to go back to it because it's so. The difference is they're so breathtaking, right? It's so incredibly breathtaking.
Is not.
Can't.
Hey, if the doctor's intangible, why did he need to open the doors? He could have just walked through them.
Habit.
Again, this kind of just sells itself to me, right? And also, you get a much more expressive. So let's look at that. That's it. The toy maker.
Don't worry, my dear. Just watch over there.
It's me, the day my mother died.
No, wait on it this instant.
What a shame. I thought my little invention would amuse you.
You and your inventions. Now, both of you be very careful.
And the incredible thing is, this is exactly the same methodology they tried to do for Web of Fear. So the bad animation is done by the Web of Fear animation. Let me remind you how bad that was. That was just shocking. Do I still have? I'm assuming I still have that for illustrative purposes only. Where are we up to? Web of Fear. There we go. HD. Hello, nothing in that folder. Maybe it's over here. Oh, it's over here. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Which is the one that's missing? Is it episodes? It must be episode 3. Yeah, this is look. I mean, firstly, look at the Troughton. I mean, the work that Callum did on the faces is brilliant. It's the artistry, but
It was intact. So naturally, I wanted to find out how it worked.
Oh, dear.
And I fiddled with the thing on and off for years, and then one day...
Don't tell me it just disappeared. Yes.
It just so deeply doesn't work under any way, shape, or form.
You got the trolley on the line, sir?
Thank you, Staff.
Funny thing, though, sir.
I mean, like, why are they all standing so weird? Let's have a look. I don't think so. Indicative of this new era of great ideas done unbelievably badly. I was thinking about it. Come on. Oh, come on. The interwebs were a bit futzy before I started, but I rebooted and I just started. So, come on. Is it not working? I don't know. Oh, there you go.
Now that he's taken over command, he thinks it would be the simplest way of being put in the picture.
I mean, what the hell? Where are all their necks?
Transmissions to the Yeti.
What we really need is some additional equipment.
So this is, again, exactly the same methodology, just done very, very bad. I just don't understand how it's Gary Russell's team. So I guess that's what there is to understand about it. And I don't know, listen, what do I think the viewing figures will be? I think these are going to be the highest of the 63 episode run, right? I think it's going to be higher than Star Beast. I'll be surprised if it isn't. I mean, you've got Shooting Gatwa coming in. And again, there's going to be massive law-changing stuff is coming, right? What that will be, I don't know. We'll talk about it afterwards, right? After it's been on. But they've been putting out lots and lots of things to try and convince you to watch, which makes me feel this one, Rusty Davies looks like he's a little bit desperate, right? Looks like he's a little bit scared. Now it's over here. Doink. Doink.
Controls for Saturday night, December.
I have to tell you, the other thing is this TARDIS, again, money badly spent. It's really is huge. And at no point I go, oh, that's great. I mean, look, when I saw the Eccleston starters, I was like, that's cool. When I saw the Matt Smith starters, I was like, well, that's different. Looks like kind of fun. Preferred Matt Smith too, right? But like, they're in the same ball. Oh, my favorite still McGann, right? Absolutely McGann. And this just looks like garbage to me.
The 9th, BBC One, The Giggle, the last special. Now look, big things are happening. I warn you, I am here with a warning, which is that big things happen. They will go online.
Like, he seems stressed, doesn't he? He does seem stressed.
Online. This episode is so big and so full, it's more than an hour long. It's 1 hour and 1 minute. It starts at 6:30.
Hey, listen, 1 hour and 1 minute doesn't sound that exciting.
At 7:31, everything will go online, including official BBC things will go online. It's our job. We have to do it. So try to watch it live. If you can't watch it live, my friend Jack is in a West End show. I said, Jack, do the curtain call, go home, don't go online.
I have to tell you, look, Simon Alden over at the Type 40 podcast was talking about it, say, look, the only thing that really matters are the overnights. And I can understand culturally about 10 years ago, but still now, really, I'm surprised, right? I'm surprised. I think the catch-up numbers I think the catch-up numbers are somewhat fudged. Especially as they've gone down somewhat. Like the Starbeast numbers was 7.6 and then went down to 7.33.
Because it'll be spot. Get straight to a television. Good luck, Saturday night. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, again, he seems a bit stressed, doesn't he? He seems a bit stressed to me. I think the reaction has not been what he hoped for, right? I think the reaction has been quite muted, right? And I think they just turned people off with their what's the word I'm looking for? With their I'm trying to think the word I'm looking at. With their activism, essentially, Disney activism, the BBC activism. What's this from? Hang on. Fine, and so we got, and finally we're hearing there was some reasonable pushback against Yasmin Finney being in it, and it's not, you can't just say, oh, you hate seeing trans people. No, we hate seeing trans people portrayed as being a normative, healthy option and a meritorious one that will save the universe. Yes, I don't like that. I think that's very bad for children. I know you think it's very good for children. You teach your children what you want. I'll teach my children, and it's not hate at all. Love everybody, right? Again, I will. I think one of the strongest feats of Russell Davies, It's a Sin, because that really was in my formative years growing up. But one of the greatest feats of it was I felt such shame as a religious person that religious people didn't go and visit and support the people who were sick with AIDS. I think that was terrible, right? You had a real opportunity to on interwebs. Oh man, so annoying. It's such an opportunity to show genuine religious kindness, Christian kindness, whatever, and just totally blew it, right? I feel genuine shame, right? Absolutely. That being said, it's not going to move me to want to destroy a generation of children. Like I was talking today with my wife, talking about social media, and I said, look, I think TikTok is a weapon, right? I think TikTok is a weapon that's I think that's what's driving a lot this insanity. I think it's a very effective weapon. That too. And again, this isn't saying, oh, all transgender people need to be thrown into camps and into gas chambers. No, but there's a difference between trans people not being put in a concentration camp and telling a generation of children that this very fringe kink is something that you really should try out, right? No. I'm sorry. I honestly, I think Russell's a great writer, but I don't think he understands what sex is or what sex is for. I think he understands that he enjoys sex. Look, we all do, right? But I don't think he understands. Look, I think sex is holy, right? Which is, I understand. It's crazy, right? But the more I see how transgenderism and fringe sexual kinks are being pushed on children, right? And I think it's bullshit that's being pushed on them as normal, right? With drag queen story hour, those sort of things. And I think it's bullshit. I think we have the same bullshit pushed on us that's saying sex outside of marriage or a committed relationship. I think the only way you can really say committed relationship with any surety is marriage. I think, even though marriage doesn't really mean much anyway anymore, is going to be something that makes Come on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Is it back? Oh, I'm back. There you go. Thank God I'm back. Oh, so annoying. It's like, why? Why right now? So I think that's like a... I think it's very damaging for society. And frankly, that seems to be the thing that Doctor Who is built on right now. And I don't think it's something that's universally loved, even though that the pushback as such has been reported. And people are just like, what? How? Why? Why? Because, you know, again, society is not on board for this change you want to make. You can say, well, society is never on board. Society was never on board for the civil rights movement. I kind of disagree with you, actually. I think society was on board for the civil rights movement. And I think society was on board for legalization of same-sex relation. I don't think society was on board for the legalization of same-sex marriage, right? I really don't think society was on board. I think that's that's why it has to be forced through, right? But you know, and again, this doesn't seem to be like hate to me. I'm not saying, you know, if you were using Doctor Who to try and like, again, the example is, imagine if you had a Doctor Who where the Doctor had to, I can't take the Eucharist. Is that the right word? Where we have you have the wafer and the wine, but not just take it, not just sit there but actually believe it, right? And think the thought you're supposed to think while you're doing that, right? And actually be something. If the Doctor had to do that to save reality, right? It would be equally annoying, right? I mean, especially me, I'm Jewish, and I don't think it's Christians. Right, you know, or yeah, we have these massively competing narratives about Israel, right? We have the shitty, awful people of the world screaming, "Kill the Jews! Kill the Jews! Kill the Jews!" And they think, well, that's not anti-Semitism. It's like, it's funny, right? The whole thing about the Israel-Hamas war started off. People say, "I don't hate Jews. I just hate Israel." That's like, I don't hate Americans. I just hate America. I don't hate the English, but I hate England. Ugh, disgusting Nazi nation. Well, I don't hate the English, right? But that mask is totally gone now, right? It's totally gone now. You're a Jew. You don't get to use this toilet. I'm Jew, right? Yeah, Zionist has been dropped and has been moved right onto Jew now, hasn't it? But yeah, again, I just think this is the type of people who the new Doctor Who appeals to, right? I really do. The absolute worst of humanity. And I think you've got like your normies in England look on and go, wait a minute, these are like kind of fascist rallies we're having in our street every week, and they're like taking a piss on all our monuments, and you know, not showing any respect to our culture whatsoever. Maybe this multiculturalism, we didn't do it the best way. Really? Okay, I remember during Zygon Invasion, Zygon Inversion. Oh, Millie, you look fantastic, darling. You're making this episode look better already. Zygon Invasion, Zygon Inversion. I thought it was a brilliantly brave idea to take on the idea of radical Islamic terrorism hiding out, being part of in Western culture, right? I thought it was a brilliant idea. I thought the payoff was ridiculous. That the Doctor could make a stirring speech and the ISIS Zygons will go, "Oh yeah, we got it all wrong." No, that's the point. And I think you're starting to see that now. Like, I know. Look, if you think the Arab world, I'll say that more, or the Muslim world, or Arab world, depends how you want to say it. If you want to say that they have that they are, what's the word, compatible. The morals of the Arab world is compatible to the morals of the Western world. You don't know what the morals of the Arab world are. Obviously, there's no multiculturalism there. And again, I think kill the Jews is not a bad thing in the Arab world, or in fact, in universities have been subsumed by this evil ideology. Fine, let's get to the chat, and then let's get to previewing the episode. I tell you, this new AI engine doing very good for me. Actually, this was made from two AI engines. We had I had Midjourney do the background and the two people at the bar. Then I photoshopped the face of Rusty Davies and was it Chibnall? I'll show you the original version before I did the new Photoshop on it. Rusty Davies and Chris Chibnall, and then I used the other one, Pixo, to do the Millie Gibson, which you just upload faces to, and it'll swap it over once you describe it. This is what the original version looked like. Oh, Millie, may I say you look very, very good, my darling. Very, very good. You're probably going to want a stiff drink for tonight's episode. You probably are, right? Don't go in thinking that everything isn't going to change. That how's it going to change? I don't know. Look, this might be a way to enjoy the new era of Doctor Who for me. It could be. If it's going to do it in a certain way that will separate this out from the everything Capaldi onwards, fine. I'm okay for that. They say I'm the worst showrunner everywhere. The worst showrunner ever. Really? Hold my beer. Counting down to the Giggle, the episode all fandom has been waiting for. It really is true, right? This is the one that we saw being filmed. This is the one we got excited about. Yeah, this is we all kind of instantly knew it was a toy maker, and the clip they put out of Neil Patrick Harris is freaking awesome. I think he's a great casting for this role, but that was before Doomsday. It was before Davros. It was before Star Beast. It was before Black Isaac Newton. I mean, that was really one of the dumbest things I've ever seen them do. Black Isaac Newton? Really? Really? That's pretty dumb. Anyway, let's get to the chat. See who's here. Nick Brown's here. I'm surprised at the choice of the Celestial Toymaker. I'm not. I think it's a perfect... honestly, that they haven't brought back the Celestial Toymaker before, it's amazing to me. A character that nobody but deep fans will have heard of. I don't think that's the problem, right? I really don't think that's a problem. I think that's probably a good idea. Like, you got... way I'm gonna when I want to do my in-depth review tomorrow. Also, we got to see if the in-vision commentary is up by tomorrow, because Rusty Davies is on that and is explaining this entire new lore for us. So I won't know that when we do the show today. But I think he's a really good character to bring back. I'm like, it doesn't matter that nobody's seen them before. I mean, frankly, I was always one of my disappointments with Gridlock, which I love. I freaking love Gridlock as an episode. Was the Macra were just like dumbed down giant crabs, especially as they had this like weird sciencey background with like gases and stuff. I think it would have worked much better if the Macra were the ones who were behind all this, were behind the destruction of New Earth or whatever, the creation of this Gridlock. Right, and maybe if you want to have them be dumbed down monsters, then they say they got caught in their own trap and they ended up becoming devolved. I mean, that's fine, but it doesn't matter that nobody ever heard of them before. It's like the werewolf in Tooth and Claw. If we saw that in a 1964 episode, and it wouldn't make any difference, so I think it's a good idea. Rusty Davies has already told us he wants us gone. Yes. He is very clear about that, apart from the few whom have gone woke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, and Russell, mate, okay. Okay, I'm going to have more people coming to my stream when I go over the episodes. Then also, when Shoot is back on Christmas, we're going to do this. We'll have a pre-show and an after show. Well, when Shooter season happens, we're going to do the same thing. I mean, assuming what are the Sabbath times then? Might not be able to a pre-show, right? It depends if the clocks have changed. If Sabbath is still going when it's on. I know. I mean, they like the 6 o'clock, the 6-7 o'clock time slot. So I think they're probably going to try and keep that. Although I heard that Shooter's introduced in a club on the Christmas episode having a boogie. I'm like, and I know there's a dance number. It doesn't really bother me. Look, there was a dance number in Daleks in Manhattan. I think it was fine. It depends. And he said it's a sideways step to fancy. That doesn't bother me either, right? As long as there's some kind of sciencey reason why it's happening, it's fine. Look at the Demons, right? That was a full-on 1970s horror episode, and also perfectly Doctor Who, right? I'm going there with a very open mind. Yeah, it's been nothing but a giant temper tantrum from a member of the Neo Fitzroy Tavern clique. Well, you think about the trans stuff, you think, or about how awful England is? I don't know. I was a member of that clique, right? I quite like the tavern. I just went there to have a beer and talk about Doctor Who with people. It was great. It was like having a little fan a mini convention once a month. I enjoyed that. So tonight, that was Peter Rich. Paul Taylor says tonight's the night the entire premise of the show gets reinvented. I think a long-term fan, this could finally be the end. And the moment has been prepared for. Yeah, listen. If this is if it detaches itself from the rest of Doctor Who, I am fine with that because in my head it's already happened, right? This is the end. My run of the show ended with the Timeless Children. My run of the show ended with Orphan 55. That was awful. But again, you could hope that was a one blip of insanity. Russell Davies had pulled that rug out from underneath you, right? Oh, that again. I think once the corporate takeover of Disney happens, which is happening, I just don't think this stuff's going to fly, right? I think they are going to be like, well, why are we investigating transgenderism in a family show, right? That seems not the right place for it. Russell, you can't do this. And if he storms off, there are plenty of people who'll take up the pen, right? Maybe Gareth Roberts will come back. Toby Whithouse, I thought, would be a perfect showrunner. Fine. Absolutely fine. Darren Evans here. How you doing? Greetings and felicitations to you. Happy Hanukkah. We're up to Stephen Sinclair is there. Unless they get rid of the China child, it's the end. If they get rid of the time, but they haven't. They've really confirmed it, right? They've really super confirmed it. Paul Tosland is here. That was Stephen Sinclair. If I didn't say it, I'm sorry, Stephen. The Solar Engine is here. Sorry. Matteo Conti is here. Is it over, bros? Well, we'll find out in what time is it? We'll know by 2 hours from now, I think. Well, by 2 hours, yeah. We will know where the lie of the land is. 22nd is the equinox this year, but does the equinox change places depending on your location on Earth? I don't know. I really don't know. 22nd. Although, yeah, there's an interesting. I think it's on the 22nd. There's a Jewish fast day coming up. It's called the 10th of the month of Tavis. The month of Tavis starts in, when was it? In a few days. And essentially, I never really understood it because it was commemorating the Romans laying siege to Jerusalem. But I figure there must be something deeper to that. So I heard a very good class once explaining that, the whole thing, the Jews being the chosen people. Well, 10th of Tavis, that fast. We're fasting because we are no longer the chosen people, right? The mission to bring, what God wants of us, which is basically just like each other and be nice to each other, stop being exclusively Jewish. I think to a great extent. Again, I was having a conversation with my wife again today. She was blown. Her mind was blown because her boss was brought up in an anti-religious home in Israel, which means they don't do anything. They don't light a menorah on Hanukkah. So I've never met a Jew that doesn't do that. I'm like, it makes total sense to me that they don't, right? I mean, it makes far less sense to me that we have, we in my community, virtually everybody, not virtually, people who go to synagogue. You go to synagogue 3 times a day, the 3 services, and they keep kosher and they study, they do all the things, and yet, like when it comes to actually living like God very explicitly tells you to, which is like not talking shit about each other, like they couldn't give 2 shits, right? I don't. It makes much more sense to be somebody who's not religious. Go, I'm not going to write like menorah. If you want to like menorah because it makes you feel good, that's your choice. I don't feel like it. All right, I totally understand that. I don't understand somebody investing their entire life into being religious and then not being religious, right? In the most central way humanly possible. What's that? BD Rich says, pre with the Goblin song, put it in your mouth and give it a lick. Russell D. David likes a nice bit of. Okay, what? I thought that's coming out tomorrow, isn't it? Right? I thought that was coming out tomorrow, the Goblin song. But again, honestly, that doesn't bother me at all, right? That doesn't bother me at all. I'm right now. I've started my Christmas watching, Christmas listening. Actually, more accurately, I've got. Where's my phone? Well, what did I just put my phone recently? I've got Chimes of Midnight is what I'm listening to right now. I'm going to listen to Spare Parts, very very Christmassy episode. Was it Genesis of the Sidemen? Then I've got two novel adaptations, All Consuming Fire, which is Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes, which feels very Christmassy to me, right? So that's the sort of stuff I'm going to go through. Wouldn't mind getting to some of the Paul McGann Christmas stuff as well. What else wanted to do? I think I'll be done with it after this evening's episode if the rumors are true. There's so many weird rumors, I have no idea. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How you doing, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde? Peter Rich says McGann regenerated straight into Matt Smith now. I know. I like Eccleston, right? I like Teddart's first run. I like Rossi Davis' first run. Paul Taylor says Trump won't let Ramaswamy run unless he himself is prevented from running. Absolutely, in my opinion, I agree with you completely. However, if Trump is prevented from running, which I don't think he's going to be, I think he's too strong a force of nature. I think his support goes. I think 80% of the support goes straight to Ramaswamy. That's what I'm telling my Republican neighbor. Like, so how do you think you're going to win without the MAGA vote? Right? How? Like, forget the ballot harvesting, which you have no clue about. Like, we're about 40% of the Republican vote right now. Are you out your mind? I wouldn't vote for Nikki Haley. Right? I wouldn't vote for DeSantis. I don't see any difference between that and Gavin Newsom. Right? Who is going to be? By the way, if you're looking for an end of day scenario, if Joe Biden steps down and Kamala Harris comes in, I can expect it not to be long before there's an entire all the armies of the world are surrounding Israel, right? That is a total end of the days apocalyptic scenario, which I don't know. Let's see what goes down. The Soren says, Rusty Davies, I'm bringing about J.K. Rowling because Doctor Who is always about is now about Harry Potter fantasy. He's not going to bring in J.K. Rowling, that's for sure. Peter, it says it's culture, Rabbi. If you influence another country's culture, you can manipulate it if you do it slowly and subtly. Yeah, exactly. Right, which is where we are right now. Sorry, the place for Pray for Apocalypse Now. I would say the movie or the actual Apocalypse Now. It will be fine. The trans people don't get to enjoy Harry Potter anymore because of J.K. Rowling. So Rusty Davies gave them what they crave. That's a really interesting take. That is a really. Do you think he's trying to take the cultural place of J.K. Rowling? I bet that could really be what's going on in his head, right? I bet that's a really interesting take. I like that take. Right? I mean, I don't like it, but I think that could well be real, right? It was so much the colorization, but piss poor editing and music and awful music for the Daleks. I think the colorization wasn't much cop either, frankly. There's no frame of that where I went, oh, look, that's naturally colored. No, it really, genuinely was not one frame of that, all right? I thought that. Kev W is here. It looks like a cheap Clone Wars knockoff. What does? We're talking about, if only it was good as Clone Wars. It is such crack, the Celestial Toy Maker, right? It is such crack. Thank you, Darren, for putting a link to Callum Weston's Celestial Toy Maker, which is, again, I should just tweet to Ian Levine. How do we get Callum Weston? Like, how do we fundraise Callum Weston to do the? I just want to do the episodes 2 and 3. right? He's that because it's beautiful. I mean, what he did was actually beautiful. And I bet we could get like 1,000 Doctor Who fans to pay 20 pounds each. Easy peasy. And frankly, they should gift it to the BBC and they should add that to the disc. Yeah, what they got there is unwatchable cack. It's unwatchable cack. But again, unwatchable cack is what Doctor Who's been about this year. Yeah. What anniversary was better? The 30th anniversary or the 60th anniversary? Which one was worse? I think the 60th anniversary is worse. Those are they're not real candles. They're graphics. My real candles are upstairs. Damon, was it? Everly says, I've got a funny feeling tonight's episode is going to be a pile of shit. My Doctor Who ended with Capaldi. Would it be a pile of shit as well? I don't know. I mean, listen, Neil Patrick Harris does look freaking awesome, right? Like, would it be a pile of shit as well? God, the CGI is so bad. Oh, we're talking about the what's it called again? The Celestial Toy Maker. Happy Hanukkah from the US, says Boric. Well, happy Hanukkah to you. It's a global holiday. To quote David Tennant, Woodhouse 120, who says the arms are too long. The face is wrong. Everything's wrong. Daz Army now has the old Doctor Who animation. Oh, really? Oh, I heard them doing. They did one of those. Did they do more? The Progressive Doctor Who, roughly translated, was not in any way at all. Yeah, it really isn't Doctor Who. Colin Archer's here. He doesn't want anyone to go online before watching it so they can hear how crap it will be. I don't know. Listen, schmuck that I am. And how many times am I wrong about the same thing? Right? Schmuck that I am. I'm like not expecting it to be awful. We'll find out, right? I am expecting it to be lore destroying, right? But he still blames everybody else. Yeah, absolutely does. Dave Mullen, David Mullen. Even I couldn't miss the diversity of these trailers and promo pictures. There's so much, right? There's so much. It's so on the nose. And again, just hire somebody outside your bubble to go, oh, that's shit. Right? Russell, mate. Hire me. I will go over your scripts and say, are you out your fucking mind? Right? No, don't do that. Fortunate face to freeze on. I know what happened. Put 50p in the meter. He's not a good writer. By the same strength, Moffat or Jamie Mathen, I could agree. His strength is dialogue. Somebody time scoop the rabbi. He's not exactly talented. Not sure who we're talking about. Andy Dwelly is here. How you doing? Well, last chance for a good evening. I disagree because he's Matthew Connor said I disagree because he said that he had to go through a scenario 15 times or something before he got to agree to peace. I don't know what we're talking about. Okay, that was 20 minutes ago. I don't know. Tzvi Lebetkin, what did the names? What did you say the name of the face swapping? The face swapper is? Here, let me find it for you. Pixo, I believe. But I mean, it's mainly used for like porn, from what I can tell. Yeah, 1 second. Pixo AI. Yeah, I'll share the screen. Share screen. Doink. So Pixo.ai. I'll put it in the chat for you. And it works with credits. Like it's $10 for like 100 credits, but to do a creation takes about like these. None of them are this clean, right? You choose between anime and realistic person, right? So, do I have my one over here in a generator? Fine. So you see here, I have Millie Gibson loaded up or Nicola Bryant, right? And you basically put your description in there. And you choose a real girl or anime girl. You can upload new faces. It's really incredible, right? It's really You did all see the let me pull this up here. The Perry for 2023 I did, right, which is I think pretty darn accurate, right? If they brought Perry back, she would look like this. Let me just find this. Where is it? Doink. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's the wrong one. Dang, I have to find the thumbnail. Where did I put it? Is it in? Must be over here. And I know where I put it. I put it in. I got a folder called Thumbs, and it should have one that says Perry 2023. Where is it? Doink. Where is it? No, not there. How about up there? Is it in this folder? Oh, here we go. Doink. Right. So that was made with Pixo, right? That was made with Pixo. Thank you very much. Although it didn't come out, I had to do a lot of work on that to get it. It's ridiculous, really, that I had to do a lot of work on that. I mean, look, this is this is my life for you, baby. But yeah, I'll show you the original version. So that's what she originally looked like. And so I had to change the thing to the top and make it go down. See, that way I feel she looks more like Perry, right? I think she looks more like Perry. Back to Millie, though. Millie, I didn't mean to dish you, my darling. Where are we up to? Gay, says Mark the Vicar. Well, I think Shuchi is going to be the gay doctor, isn't he? Andy Noel is here. Sounds like a double whiskey episode. It does, doesn't it? I'm not optimistic. Well, again, it depends. It depends how they shred fandom, right? How they shred the shred lore. Rusty Davies says 5-inch, and we're supposed to all cheer. I do get the feeling that's the case, right? The original 96 script, the toy maker was one of the Doctor's people. That's interesting. I did not know that. If David stays with this timeless concept, is he going to link the Doctor to the toy maker? Maybe. Deals was Doctor made by Hammer Studios, says Colin. I agree with you, and it really works, right? It really genuine. I love the Demons, right? See, my love for Classic Who is just gone off the charts right now. I love Classic Who now. I'm much more interested. I really am. Amaro is here. It says Amaro said, if that was the real Millie, I'm watching and rewatching. Well, there you go. The Dems are terrified of Trump. The deep state's terrified of Trump. Mark Milford is here. Rabbi, watching the specials is like seeing an ex-girlfriend. At first, the excitement and rush and happy memories, and then you get triggered instantly recalling the reasons of the separation. It's worse than that. It's like seeing an ex-girlfriend who's like, you're excited at first, and then you notice what an absolute mess she is, and you go, oh, thank fuck I'm out of that. Right? Thank fuck I'm out of that. Carol pulls off her mask and she's Hillary Clinton, says PG Rich. Well, that I can see that happening. It's a bit Master-esque, right? But I can see that happening. Rusty Davies, arrogant and mentally deranged enough that he would try and turn Doctor Who into Harry Potter. I think that's a really perceptive, right? Who was it? Paul Taylor? I can't remember who said it. I think that's really perceptive. I think, yeah, spot on. Bobby D75 here. Harry Potter and the Singing Goblin. Again, for me, that doesn't bother me at all. The 40th anniversary has been more watchable than the 60th. What was the 40th? So it'll be 2003. Well, you had Big Finish going then. By the 30th, he didn't even have Big Finish, right? By the 40th, he had Zagreus, which was so Dan is here, Type 40. Thank you for the thumbnail. I tell you, me and Dan, we are not on the same page with this, and it's awesome, right? I love that I have a friend who loves Doctor Who disagrees, right? It's what we used to be able to do in fandom. Man, it's something that's really been lost. And I'm glad he's enjoying it. I still think this episode might be the one that kills it for everyone. Right? I really do. We'll have to wait and see. Have a fantastic time in front of the telly later, everyone. Speak soon. Speak to you soon, Dad. P.S. Great to see the Rabbi's Christmas back. Well, it's Hanukkah, baby. You know. Father Mirror is here. Hey, I'm really depressed. Again, for me, I've separated this from Doctor Who, right? It's the same way Star Trek Strange New Worlds is not the same reality in any way, shape, or form than Star Trek, the original series, right? It's like totally different. Oh, really? Father Miller comes in as soon as I start showing my pervy AI, right? I don't know how much money I could put in the tin. I feel sorry for those guys of Eshin to be right after I watch the show. I'm going to pause off half an hour for heads. Can you imagine? And then, I had impure thoughts about somebody I didn't like. You had impure thoughts? Well, listen to me. I wanted to... This is why I wouldn't be a priest. I suck at that. Later on, the toy make animation, the lack of backgrounds, it's happening all in the void and incredibly amateur because of these shortcuts. Well, I think there wasn't much backgrounds in the original one, which is why I like Callum's one a lot. Let me go. I'm whizzing through it. Paul Taylor, how you doing? I'm thinking so low to you. You came up with a very perceptively. Yeah, you can get specify naval. Yes, you do. Right? Yes, you do. Danton's Blackberry is smoky. Is she black? I didn't notice. It just looked like she was Perry to me. I don't know. Mark Milford is there. How you doing, Mark? What do you think about Tulsi Gabbard? Hamas's goal to eliminate Israel, not peace for Palestinians. To Tulsi Gabbard, the U.S. must. I like Tulsi Gabbard a lot. Like I was going to say I like her a lot before, but I thought I should read that first before I go. Yeah, listen, I think she's a sane Democrat, which is no wonder she's getting turned on by a party, right? So there's not many of them around, is it? The ex-girlfriend is also carrying a few social diseases as far as it. You're right. It feels so skanky, right? It does all feel so skanky. Ethan Burkholder there. Doing Ethan Burkholder. Be interested to see if they do a New Year review, do a year review, and weigh up whether or not it's been the 60th. The that muffled bang. That's exactly what it was. Autumn Mirabalis is here. Doing Autumn Mirabalis. Thank you for joining us. Fine, let's get to the preview of the episode, which is a kind of the what I promised. Okay, first, shall we look at the clips first? Let's look at a clip first, right? They I don't know, will they copyright block me for it? Let's read this first, and then we'll look at a clip. But there they are. I'm getting a feeling it's not making a dent in social media, right? That like nobody really cares that much. Let's have a look on Twitter, right? I got the trends for me. What's the trends for the? How do I get trends for the UK? I don't know. Posted this. Hang on, this is awesome. This is perhaps one of the greatest versions of Doctor Who ever made, right? I just switch on Twitter. Oh, I can't. Oh, here is it. Here it is. This is awesome. Yeah, put it over here. 1 second. Doink. Well, how do you get to trending? Show more, right? Show more. Trends. Let's do trends for explore locations. United Kingdom. Show content for this location. Is this Israel? Let's have a look. No, wrong location. Okay. Show trends. Edit, explore locations. Right. So I'll go United Kingdom. So I'll go to the U's. That's probably where not Zambia, United Kingdom. Okay, so let's have a look what it is. Right, there is nothing. Bloody hell. Nothing in the top. Look at this. I think this is a sign of real genuine failure. Where are we up to? Can't find what page I'm on now. Yeah, we go. Doink, I'm over here. There is nothing trending. That's crazy. Trends. Look at this. Got Bournemouth, Bayern, Alvalars, Atomic Zichencho, whatever that means, Dalot, SW Houdini, Clancy. Like nothing anybody knows anything about or cares about. Ipswich, forget it. That's crazy. Nothing is trending, right? I think that's why Russell Davies is indeed pissing himself, right? I really do. Robin's here. How you doing, Rob? How do you survive the Time War? By correcting pronouns on the front line. I was there when the Dalek Emperor misgendered the cruciform. I saw it. It sounds pretty much like Russell Davies' Doctor Who. Fine. Let's get to the Giggle preview. I think Paul Daly needs the viewing figures. I think I would have thought the viewing figures of this one would go up. But seeing how little is trending is really blowing my mind. Fine. Essential information. Let's have a look. What are we up to? December 9th on BBC One, UK and Ireland, Disney Plus, the rest of the world. Okay, tomorrow on Disney Plus. It's so freaking annoying, right? Why? Starring David Dent, Catherine Tate, Neil Patrick Harris, Gemma Redgrave, Ruth Madeley, Alexander Devrient, Charlie DeMeo, and introducing Ncuti Gatwa. Directed by Hanya Barton. Wasn't she a Jodie director? Let's see if it's going to be shit. I mean, honestly, let's see if they can pull it off. Where we have to. In a nutshell, the world has gone mad on an ancient threat. It's using an entire planet as a playroom. Who will win the ultimate game, the Doctor or the Toymaker? Well, I'm assuming the Doctor. But who knows? Quote unquote. Doctor, I'm all Sonic and TARDIS, but take that away. Take away the toys, and what am I? What am I now? Well, Matt Smith showed that in the 11th hour, which is why it was such a good episode, right? He had nothing, and he beat an entire alien invasion. That was brilliant, right? What am I now? I don't know if I can save your life this time. It's not about me. Oh, yes, it is. Well, maybe I'll save you. Okay. Oh, fuck off. So, okay, fine. And they should just make up their own bloody covers rather than trying to trade off the bloody pass. Okay. I was going to start this by saying, okay, this is the big one. Well, it is the big one, right? It is the big one. Well, let's face it, all these specials have been equally deserving of that title. No, they haven't. I'm sorry. Look, Meet the Beat was beautifully realized, but it was a cute monster. It was a good monster. I have to say, it was a good, fun monster, like hidden amongst a very loud, transgendered rant, right? That's what it was. Let's say that everything gone before has been leading to this. Well, that's true. In fact, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say everything since April 1966 has been leading this. April 1966, what? Yes, everything since the broadcast of the Celestial Toymaker when William Hartnell's first Doctor beat the Toymaker at his own game and destroyed his bizarre world. Well, okay, are they going to say that the entirety of Doctor Who's run has been in the Toymaker's realm? Because that's shit. That's just shit. I was like, go away. David Tennant's 14th Doctor admits to Donna that he's been running for so many years, always hoping he's not behind me, but he was ahead with the power of a god. Really? He hasn't mentioned him in, 50 years? Well, 66, 76, 86, 96, 2006, 2016. Okay, 57 years. Doesn't come on conversation. Oh, I've always thinking about it. Will you shut up? In fact, the Toymaker has been lurking behind biding his time on Earth since 1925, ready to turn the world into his own deadly playground. But now it is time for the final throw of the dice and the final kick of the ball, kick in the balls, the final countdown. Of course, it's our job to whet your appetites for the Giggle, not to spoil everything, but by giving the story away before transmission, there's a good chance that many of you will have seen the episode by the time you read this. No, I haven't. But that's why we're here, baby. 25 minutes to go. Hey, I'm scared. The episode by the time you read this magazine, hey, we go on sale on 2 days before BBC One Disney Plus go outside the UK. But at the same time, we know how eager Doctor Who fans can be, and we bet a lot of you will have grabbed a copy, grab hold of your copy just as soon as you could. But I get it digitally, baby. I paid much less than £10 a bloody issue. So if you've already seen the Giggle, You can nod your head and make approving murmurs while the rest of you tell you how great it is. And listen, I get the feeling Doctor Who magazine has had a bit of a regeneration. I don't recognize anybody anymore on the credits. All right, let's have a look. Jason Quinn, don't know him. Mike Jones, don't know him. Richard Atkinson, don't know him. Yeah, it's like an entirely new crew there, right? So you can, but what can we safely tell you without spoiling it? Let's face it. If there's one thing the toy maker loves, it's a surprise. Here comes the biggie from the man himself, Rusty Davies. Okay, so what's so marvelous about this shit? Nothing. It's been shit so far, and it's your fault. And about the future of Doctor Who. Oh, yeah, future Doctor Who is going to be so gay. Marvelous. Oh, at last, anybody sad about J.K. Rowling can now come to me. Russell, you're about to find out. Yeah, okay. Russell, I think, is about to find out what supporters of Jeremy Corbyn found out in 2019. Like, you're full of, you do not think Twitter's reality. And certain episodes have been commentaries on iPlayer in the UK. I want these things going free to air on the iPlayer. Why they are not on Disney Plus is bloody beyond me, because Disney Plus is arseholes. They got us on camera, and the Giggle has me, David Tennant, and Phil Collinson not only talking about Doctor Who, but about the entire time we've had on it. And there will be controversial events in this episode. If you listen and watch the commentary on iPlayer, I unroll a whole new Doctor Who mythology for you based on the events taking place. Look, I'm just saying, it hasn't really worked out well before, right? This has not been a universally successful approach. And I'm explaining to David Tennant, and his mind is blowing or exploding. Hopefully we won't be vomiting. The commentary will have absolute exclusive information that will rock your world. I hope you'll find it fascinating. I guess we got to watch it then. I guess I have to, and it's a whole new way of looking at the history of Doctor Who. I can't wait to see the reaction. Really, that Russell, because you think it's going to be good. Chris General said that as well. Oh, I can't wait to see the reaction. Really, Chris? Really? I bet you would have rather waited, wouldn't you? I bet you would have rather waited. Russell goes on to tell us more about the mega villain the Doctor is facing in the Giggle. Obviously, at the end of the 14th Doctor life, he's going to have to face a huge enemy. It's been a very, again, we've got to answer why his clothes regenerated, why his face came back. We've got to answer a bunch of things. So he's going to face a huge enemy because I was writing Nolly for ITV. I researched John Logie Baird and found that Stooky Bill, the mad puppet he put in front of the camera, because the lights were too strong and hot for people, and the puppet, the most sinister looking puppet in the world. For a while I imagined Stooky Bill would be the enemy. Then I realized that you can't have a 2-foot puppet walking around. I see Kate Lethbridge Stewart being scared. I can't see Kate Lethbridge Stewart being scared of that. I can't see Kate Lethbridge Stewart successfully emoting any information, anything whatsoever. She is the blandest of bland. I mean, I guess Shirley Ann Bingham will just smile smugly, as they say, women are just the bestest ever. And having Neil Patrick Harris there from scene 1 gives a fantastic air of menace. Again, the clip they put out of him was excellent, right? Absolutely excellent. Approaching danger to the entire episode. The doom laden from the start. Neil does it brilliantly. What else can we appear to tell you while not telling you anything at all? Well, this is this really is like a pea under an egg cup trick, isn't it? We're pretty sure Neil Patrick Harris's toy maker would approve. Okay, got it. The music, yes, the music. When you're in for a treat, but not really. The music has been not great. It's been kind of like, overbearing. You're into back in the day when I was a kid, the older generation thought pop music and rock music, pop music and rock and roll as the devil's music. People haven't thought that since how many years? 60 years, maybe 50 years. It's time to move on. We're pretty sure Neil Patrick music. The source of teenage delinquency and danger and chaos. I hate that they sneeringly laugh at earlier generations. Wait until you see the Giggle. You finally get to realize they were right all along. How can something be so hilarious and spine chilling at the same time? So it's gonna. Is he talking about the toy maker being in charge of the degenerational society? I don't know. Don't ask us. Okay, do you think the Doctor's been in the toy maker's realm since 1966? Could be. Maybe he doesn't regenerate at all. I don't know. Don't ask us, Rusty Davies, because he's got it down pat. Of course, no preview of the Giggle would be complete without mentioning the long-awaited appearance of Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. We know he's going to be in the show up in this episode. They should really open with Ncuti Gatwa, right? They should really do that because everybody knows it's coming. Yeah, the 14th Doctor's final hurrah. So let's get rid. I mean, there's no real final hurrah when he's had 3 episodes. I'm sorry, the War Doctor was a bigger deal. I mean, honestly, the Big Finish War Doctor stuff was excellent, which I'm very glad. I think I talked myself into buying the Sontarans versus Rutans set they're putting out because it has the War Doctor in it, right? I think I might have talked myself into that. So get ready. Welcome to a whole new era of Doctor Who. Well, again, how new era is it going to be? It's going to be wonderful. I'm not sure. Not on the strength of anything I've seen. It's going to be wonderful. I'm sorry. It's going to be wonderful. There's so much we could say, but we won't because we can't. But we promise you, you will love every glorious moment of it. Well, you've been wrong about pretty much everything so far. You're going to laugh. Well, I did laugh insanely at the end of, if you saw my review stream for Starbeast. I was like, I'm just laughing. I'm like, what? You're going to gasp. You're going to cry. You'll do all of those. But please, whatever you do, don't giggle. Okay, well, probably won't, right? I probably won't. Fine. So they've been putting out spoilery clips. Let's look at this one, which I do quite good. Now, again, there is lots of sexual politics in the writing of this. Is it on purpose or not? I don't know.
Ball is the first game ever being invented. Stone Age man. He picked up ein Rock. He said, "Oh, das ist ein Ball." He throwed it when she killed a man. He said,
I mean, to me, this works totally, right? But you didn't see the scene before or after this where it's like, you know, the LGBT people are crying that there's a Holocaust going on, right?
"Oh, what fun." And now everybody loves the balls. Until they hear 5 billion. Then the very last human picks up the skull of his enemy and said, "That is the final ball of all." Yeah.
Enough.
He's got a nice bit of menace to him. I'm sorry. I haven't liked this new. This looks like excellent casting.
Honolulu. I wondered which one of you had the balls.
Again, like, there's just a bit too much sexual. Like, if we didn't have like that awful feminist trans scene at the end of Starbeast, that really wouldn't have impacted at all. That would have been quite fun, but you know,
Okay. So you know my name? How do you two know each other?
Donna, go back to the TARDIS.
Huh?
Go back to the TARDIS.
You never tell me to do that.
Oh, but he is recognizing me. Are you not?
Again, this looks like primo Doctor Who. How are they going to fuck it up? That's where we are. You think, how are they going to fuck this awesome Doctor Who up? Wait and see. We'll know in 15 minutes, right? We'll see in 15 minutes.
Please it, Herr Doctor, to see me again after so many years.
Who is he?
That's the entire
first
flashback?
game ever. Oh, but Doctor, to see me again after so many years.
Who is he?
Right, so they said there was like some kind of CGI toy maker in this, Michael Gough, and that's so unimpressive, right? It's like, really, Shooty said, "Oh, I was filming a scene with William Hartnell." I didn't realize it was that bit from An Adventure in Time and Space.
The toy maker. We meet again, Doctor.
I mean, that is really a classic line. We meet again. I mean, like, he must have had a good time running it. Maybe it won't be shit. Maybe it won't be shit. Of course it's going to be shit. Listen, we'll find out soon. Good clip. I had to say, good clip. I'm looking forward to this. Mark the Big says, looks great apart from the Duff accent. I like the Duff accent, right? I think that kind of works with it all, right? Peter says, I will giggle in a few years. In a few years' time, when Russell Davies no longer sells. I think you're looking at the Shooty Run. I think the Shooty Run is going to be a disaster. Fine, we're going to go about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, so I'm going to head off in a minute. 1 second. So I can have a bit of a poo before the episode. You know, I like to make sure I'm fully relieved. So there you go. So 1 second, Doink. So that's where we are now. Come back and join me at 8:15, right? 8:15. The Doctor Who 16th anniversary, the Giggle instant review, where you find out my first reaction to it, right? So I really when I did, it's only a week ago, blimey, when I did Wild Blue Yonder, and that still seems like a bit of a shit name. Was the ship called Wild Blue Yonder or anything? No, there was nothing Wild Blue Yonder about it as well. But like, the way I have to review, which I'm not going to be able to do tomorrow, until tomorrow, it is my impressions of it. You're getting that tonight, my first impressions, but my impressions as a insane Doctor Who fan, which needs all of Doctor Who to sit together in one canon, which post Capaldi doesn't, right? And I think this might give an explanation for that. I don't know. I'm going to review it as watching Doctor Who that doesn't need to fit into one canon, right? Which is not really me, but how you got to watch Doctor Who in the future. And as a normie, right? I want to say, like, it really was important for me to review it as a normie last week. I'm really intrigued to see if the ratings are going to go up or down. My instinct is the ratings will go up from last week. Who knows? Problem being, it's here. So disabled people playing evil is bad, but faking German accent and being in a German good. Yeah, there's no internal logic. Once you go down the little route of woke, there's just no internal logic whatsoever. General Grievous 19 is here. Doing General Grievous 19. Thank you for joining us. Emmett's here. How are you doing? That seems to be the war cry of Doctor Who now. Maybe it won't be shit. Maybe it won't be shit. It does. So fine, join me back here at 8:15. I'm going to wrap up now. Good your loins, ladies and gentlemen. I have no freaking idea what's coming. But all I'm going to say is good night, good luck, and may